Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's story is one of those unforgettable moments where a simple sentence changes everything. It's a story about friendship, hidden feelings, missed chances, and a love that had been quietly growing for years without either person having the courage to say it out loud. So sit back, relax, and let's get started. I never believed in love at first sight. Movies made it look magical. Two people lock eyes across a crowded room, and suddenly their entire future unfolds before them. But real life never worked that way for me. At least, that's what I thought. The funny thing is that sometimes love doesn't arrive like lightning. Sometimes it sneaks into your life so slowly that you don't even realize it's there until it's become impossible to ignore. That's exactly what happened with Emma. I met her on a rainy Tuesday morning. The elevator in my office building was packed. Everyone looked tired, staring at their phones and pretending the other people didn't exist. Then the elevator suddenly stopped between floors. The lights flickered. Someone groaned. Another person started complaining. And right in the middle of all the frustration, I heard laughter. Not nervous laughter. Not awkward laughter. Genuine laughter. I turned and saw a woman standing near the back. She had dark hair, bright eyes, and the kind of smile that made everyone around her feel calmer. Honestly, she said, if we're trapped in here for hours, I hope somebody brought snacks. A few people laughed. Even the angry guy stopped complaining. And somehow the tension disappeared. That was Emma. We ended up talking while we waited for maintenance to get the elevator moving again. 20 minutes later, when the doors finally opened, she smiled and said goodbye as if we'd known each other for years. I thought I'd never see her again. Then I discovered she worked 3 floors above mine. From that day on, we kept running into each other. At first it was casual conversations. Then coffee breaks. Then lunch. Then daily texts. Before long, she became one of the most important people in my life. The strange part was that I never planned for it. Friendship with Emma felt effortless. She understood my jokes. She remembered little details about things I'd mentioned months earlier. She always knew when something was bothering me even when I pretended everything was fine. And somehow she made ordinary days feel better. When work was stressful, she made me laugh. When life felt overwhelming, she listened. When I doubted myself, she believed in me. Years passed. 3 years. Then 4. Then 5. And during all that time, everyone around us assumed we were dating. Coworkers asked constantly. Friends teased us relentlessly. Even complete strangers made comments. Your girlfriend seems nice. She's not my girlfriend. Sure she isn't. It became a running joke. Emma would roll her eyes. I'd laugh. And we'd move on. Neither of us ever addressed it seriously. At least not directly. There were moments, though. Moments that lingered. Moments I found myself thinking about late at night. Like the time we got caught in a storm during a weekend trip with friends. Everyone ran for cover. Emma grabbed my hand. For a second she didn't let go. And neither did I. Or the night we stayed up talking until sunrise. The conversation moved from movies to childhood memories to dreams for the future. At one point there was silence. Not uncomfortable silence. The kind of silence that feels meaningful. She looked at me. I looked at her. Neither of us said anything. Then someone's phone rang. And the moment vanished. Life continued. Years continued. And somehow we remained exactly where we'd always been. Friends. Best friends. Nothing more. At least officially. The truth was that I had started wondering. What if there was something else? What if the reason no relationship ever worked for me was because every woman I dated ended up being compared to Emma? What if I'd fallen for her without realizing it? The thought terrified me. Because friendship was safe. Friendship didn't risk heartbreak. Friendship didn't risk losing the most important person in your life. So I buried those feelings. Or at least I tried to. Then one evening everything changed. It happened at a small restaurant downtown. Nothing fancy. Just our favorite place. We were celebrating her promotion. She'd worked incredibly hard for it. I was genuinely proud of her. We spent hours talking, laughing, sharing stories. The restaurant slowly emptied around us. The staff started stacking chairs. Still, neither of us seemed ready to leave. That's when a group at the next table started talking loudly about weddings. One of the women was showing engagement photos. Everyone was congratulating her. Emma smiled as she watched. "Looks like she found her person," she said softly. I nodded. Yeah. For some reason, the conversation stayed on relationships. Maybe it was the atmosphere. Maybe it was the late hour. Maybe it was something else entirely. Emma asked, "Do you ever think about getting married?" I laughed. Sometimes. Sometimes? Okay, maybe more than sometimes. She smiled. What kind of person do you think you'll end up with? I thought about it. Then I started describing qualities. Kind. Smart. Funny. Loyal. Someone who made difficult days easier. Someone who cared about people. Someone who made life brighter. As I spoke, Emma became strangely quiet. I didn't notice what was happening. Not yet. I was too focused on answering her question. Then she asked softly, "And what if you never meet someone like that?" I looked at her and shrugged. I already know someone like that. She tilted her head. Oh. Yeah. Who? I smiled. You. She stared at me. I laughed awkwardly. Seriously, Emma. Whoever marries you will be lucky. The words left my mouth so casually. So naturally. I meant them completely. But I had no idea they were about to change my life. For a second she didn't move. Then her eyes dropped to the table. A small smile appeared. Not her usual smile. This one seemed nervous. Almost vulnerable. When she finally looked back at me, her voice was barely above a whisper. I was hoping it would be you. Time stopped. At least it felt that way. The restaurant disappeared. The noise disappeared. Everything disappeared except those 6 words. I was hoping it would be you. My heart slammed against my chest. I stared at her. Certain I had misunderstood. Certain I'd imagined it. But the look in her eyes told me otherwise. There was fear there. Hope. Honesty. Years of hidden feelings. All exposed in a single moment. Emma. She laughed nervously. Forget I said that. No. I shouldn't have said it. No. She looked away. I just thought, after all these years. I reached across the table. Gently. Carefully. And took her hand. Emma. She looked up. I was hoping it would be me too. The expression on her face is something I'll never forget. Relief. Shock. Happiness. Disbelief. All at once. Then tears filled her eyes. Not sad tears. The kind that come when you've carried something heavy for too long and suddenly don't have to anymore. She laughed through them. I can't believe this. Neither can I. 5 years. I know. 5 years. We might be idiots. She laughed harder. Definitely. Looking back, it seems ridiculous. 2 people who cared deeply about each other. 2 people who wanted the same thing. 2 people who spent years afraid to say it. But fear has a way of convincing us to stay silent. Fear tells us that protecting what we have is safer than risking something greater. Fear tells us rejection will hurt more than regret. Fear lies. Because the truth is that regret lasts much longer. That night we talked until the restaurant closed completely. Then we sat in my car and talked for another 2 hours. We shared everything. Every moment we'd wondered. Every time we'd almost said something. Every opportunity we'd let slip away. Emma admitted she'd started having feelings for me years earlier. I admitted the same. Neither of us could stop laughing about how ridiculous we'd been. The next few months felt surreal. Nothing changed. And yet everything changed. She was still my best friend. Still the person I wanted to call first. Still the person who made me laugh. The difference was that now we didn't have to hide how we felt. Now every goodbye included a kiss. Every plan included a future. Every dream suddenly felt shared. Friends were not surprised. Not even a little. When we finally told them we were dating, most reacted exactly the same way. What took you so long? One friend actually laughed for 5 straight minutes. Another claimed she'd been waiting years for us to figure it out. Apparently everyone knew except us. A year later, I proposed. Not at a fancy event. Not in front of a crowd. Just the 2 of us. The way she would have wanted. We went back to that same restaurant. The same table. The same place where everything had changed. After dinner I handed her a small box. She stared at it. Then at me. Then back at the box. And immediately started crying. Emma, I said, smiling, whoever marries you will be the luckiest person alive. She laughed through her tears. You're stealing your own line. Maybe. I opened the ring box. But this time I'm hoping it's me. She didn't even let me finish. Yes. Then louder. Yes. The entire restaurant erupted into applause. And for once, neither of us cared about being embarrassed. Because after years of waiting, years of wondering, years of silence, we finally had our answer. We got married 8 months later. Standing there at the altar, watching her walk toward me, I remembered that rainy Tuesday morning in the elevator. The broken elevator. The laughter. The smile. The moment our story began. At the time it felt ordinary. Just another day. Just another stranger. But life has a funny way of hiding extraordinary moments inside ordinary ones. You never know when you're meeting someone who will change everything. You never know when friendship becomes love. You never know when one simple sentence will alter the course of your entire future. Sometimes all it takes is honesty. One honest moment. One brave confession. One whispered truth. I was hoping it would be you. And sometimes that's enough to change your life forever. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video with someone special. And remember, if there's someone in your life you care about, don't wait forever to tell them. The happiest chapters often begin with the words we're most afraid to say. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.